All right. Hello. I'm your host, Lynn Dorman, the Southern Fried Paranormal Podcast. Tonight, if the producer will show up one of the three pictures down below, I'll tell you what we talked about. You got a couple of seconds of preview just in. Just go ahead and throw up those photos. Hello. Hello. Tick, tick, tick. There we go. Thomas, Patrick, and Stacia Wills. We will be talking about first the Connecticut witchcraft. Paracon, throw up the next one, please. Also, we talk about, of course, in New Orleans Paracon. I get cursed every time Chris has to write a check for that. And throw up the next one. I'm going to talk about, of course, the Connecticut Rich Fest. I can't hardly say it, Witch Fest. It sounds like I'm saying Rich Fest, but it's Witch Fest. All right, let's come on back to me, and we will get on with the show and see if Thomas, Patrick, and Stacia Wills are ready to go. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Mm. Yes, you're coming in.
We're trying. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. How are you doing, Len?
Outside of being hot and sweaty, I'm doing well.
Great. We're trying to get an extension cord in. Our better phone with the better volume is kind of dying out, and so I'm just kind of with you right now. And yeah, this stuff happens. That's very paranormal, I guess. So yeah, we'll be on my phone for a second here, and then we'll cross over onto the other phone if those guys hear in the background. But what have you been up to?
About 5'9".
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty close to that myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm shrinking in my old age. The hips are starting to go a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm shrunk. I may be closer to 5'8" now.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're trying to.
I've been building a deck. Does that tell you how well I'm doing?
Yeah, well, a lot better than me. So. Can you hear us on this one?
Oh, wow. Booming.
There you go. Perfect. A little different view. We had the lake view in the background, but we had to find somewhere to plug the phone in. So that way we hopefully we'll get Stacia in here, and hopefully we don't lose your followers with our technical difficulties. But how it goes. But hey.
Hello.
Yeah. So actually, Len, I'm kind of actually excited. I'm going to get to finally meet you in New Orleans, and that's coming up very soon. Of course, a lot of the viewers, I know you've been advertising for them. Stacia and I will be down there as vendors. Stacia will be doing readings. So if you need a reading from an actual shaman, we'll have our booth. We'll be right near Johnny Zaffis, the Lourdes and Ron, and I think there's a ghost hunters group that'll be near us too, from what the organizer Chris has been telling us. And we'll be speaking with Johnny Zaffis, Father Bob, and Bill Slevin for the Warren panel. So maybe our memories of the Warrens and all that. So we're pretty excited.
I'm excited about it. The Warren panel, when I look at it, I find it an honor to be able to speak on one of the days. Just to have Johnny Zaffis there and everything that he's done, of course, everybody knows he's the nephew to the Warrens and was, at ground zero. So to be on a panel with him, also to be on a panel with Father Bob. And what's nice about that, he worked with Lorraine. He was on Paranormal State. And Father Bob, Tom, and I, we've worked together on many cases. He is absolutely top notch. When I need a priest, I got to call Father Bob and say, I need you and I need you now. And he has been rock solid. Bill and I were both on in the Warren Society. I'll be the only medium on the panel, and Johnny Zaffis, I love him so much, and Father Bob I love, and of course, I love my partner, and I'm saving him for last on this. But they all use me as, a clairvoyant medium, because the part of my shamanism is I am able to connect to the other side. Um, it's generational. So I get the good and the bad and the ugly. Generations usually come through and say, hey, by the way, here's the problem. And I start seeing those familiar demons. But Tom is the only one that he came up, well, besides John, because of course, they had him since, he was in diapers. But on the outside, he's the only one on the panel that Lorraine picked out of a crowd and said, come here, kid, I need to talk to you, and recognized his gifts and helped him. So there are 3 of the 5 of us on the panel that actually worked with the Warrens. I love Zaffis so much. Johnny is an amazing guy. Father Bob is amazing. Tom is amazing. And to have these 3 men, put faith in me means the world. And just to be able to speak means a lot to me also. But I'm very proud to be Tom's partner and listen to him. He'll be speaking one of the days. I'll be speaking another day. I'm completely happy just to sit back and listen to him speak, because he is so amazing. And the story of Lorraine just saying, come here, honey, we need to talk, is just amazing. And to hear him and Father Bob and John speak on their experiences that they have had with the Warrens is absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, that will be an amazing time.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We have it for 2 days, and I know what she's saying, and I just, for me, that story means a lot, and I'm not going to say about any of it tonight, because I want people to still buy tickets to New Orleans Paracon,
Have
make
to.
sure they see the talk. It'll be both days, so make sure you catch us and all that. And I think one of the days, I think Stacia will be speaking. I'll be speaking on one of the other days. We're going to kind of rotate out, just so you could see the different dynamic and the different aspects of how we look at the history of the Warrens and what they did to bring the paranormal forward and their building blocks and what we learned and what we could pass on ourselves, especially with somebody like John Zaffis. So.
Yeah, he's been an amazing resource. I laugh. I have to tell you the story of me meeting John Zaffis. Now,
Go ahead.
okay, so first of all, I knew nobody in the paranormal field, was not anywhere I was headed. Of course, I'm a shaman. I've done this my whole life, but I did it more on a political background. My mentors in life growing up was Dr. Robert Barrett, who was the military aide for Nixon and Ford and carried the codes. I mean, I grew up with this man. I lived in Martha's backyard. I had amazing resources. These men knew I was gifted. So, of course, I went into the realm of politics. They also helped me build who I was as a person. And I owned an occupational health and safety. I had an NRG contract. I was on the back end of outages, and I was really predominant on the East Coast, but I did outages everywhere. So, with that being said, I knew nobody. Nobody. I was working 120 hours a week. I was raising a son. I was a single mom. Paranormal, what, okay, I grew up with ghosts. Meant nothing to me. So, I retired the business, and I am, I'm building up Wardruna. And Wardruna was really, really growing at this time. And that's why I decided just to completely phase the one out. I overlapped them for a bit. And I was asked to be on a show. And that is how I met Tom. We were on the same show. Out of nowhere, my phone rings and it says Bridgeport, Connecticut. And I thought it was the Mohicans. I was working with them on a project. So I picked it up and I said, hello. And he goes, yeah, Stacia there. And I said, this is she. He goes, this is Johnny Zaffis. And I'm like, okay. Now at this point, people started saying Johnny Zaffis. I'm Googling names as people are dropping them, as I'm getting more and more into it. I'm like, and it was funny because I'm like, he goes, do you know who I am? I'm like, yes, sir. And he goes, I'm watching you. What are you up to? I went, nothing. And I'm just like sitting there like shocked. And he said, well, you know, you're the real deal. And I said, I hope so, sir. And he goes, no, no, you will be saying, I know from now on. And I said, sir, I have to stay humble. Your gifts can be taken away from you at any time. He goes, I'll be back in touch. I'm watching you. And I'm like,
Oh,
okay. So from there, you know, there was a few phone calls, you know, he made to me, then I made to him. And then last year at the Tom's Paracon, I rented a huge bed and breakfast, had this beautiful dinner, and we all got kicked out. Okay. There was a hearse in the driveway, and the neighbors started complaining about it. So the man who rented, by the way, I won the case in Airbnb and got my money back. Because so here I am with all this food. And when I say, listen, I'm a Russian, we feed armies, okay? So I had this whole Greek layout. It was gyros everywhere. And now we have no place to go. Everybody runs to hotel rooms. And I'm like, what am I going to do with, I spent like $600 on food. I'm like, where am I going to put all this food? John goes, come on, kids, you're going to stay at my house. So God love him. In the middle of the night, we pick up his poor wife. You know, she just opens the door. Their refrigerators are shoved with food. Okay. So we stayed the night at Johnny's house that weekend, had an amazing time. We did investigations together. We brought everything back that Sunday. We fed pretty much the whole Paracon with gyros. Okay.
We just fed everybody at the Paracon on the second day and all that. Just said, we got to get rid of this. So everybody come on over, get a plate, you know?
Get a plate of meat.
wow.
And, you know, it was then and there, you know, John, because I met him at Mansfield like a month before that,
Yeah.
but this was really getting to know him. And he has just been amazing. You know, we weren't sure if we were going, how many Paracons we were going to do this year
Yeah.
because my health was really bad last year.
Yeah.
So we pushed a lot of them off. And John, I was getting better. And John's like, I want you at New Orleans. Get into New Orleans. So I have to say, Chris Talley, his wife, amazing people. You know, they opened their doors. We got a spot. We were put on a panel. And just to be able to showcase Wardruna, with a table is amazing. You know, John watches over us. Father Bob is part of it. Just the group itself, and to be able to get a platform to show people how to heal generational trauma is amazing. I mean, we have a lot of amazing therapists, healers, I mean, hypnotists, you name it. They're on this Rolodex that can go through the system and help heal this trauma. A psychiatrist at Cleveland Clinic sat in on sessions. She goes, you do in 10 minutes what takes me 10 months. I said, you're waiting for the humans to tell you a story. I listen to the dead. And I said, we just pull it out of them. Like, here you go, here it is. And then they just kind of sit there with shock and awe. And I'm like, oh, by the way, now do you want to go to a therapist? And we just slide them over. So it's been an amazing system, and it actually really, really works.
It is. We have both sides of it because, you know, like she said, she wasn't really in the paranormal. It kind of just like dragged her in and all that. But really, if you really look at the paranormal, a lot of people that are pulled into the paranormal do have that trauma going on, or that need to find out, why am I the way I am? What happens after death? That morbid type of mentality and all that. And we have to really look at that. In a lot of home cases over the years that I've been doing this, and it's been vast. And a majority of the time, people's paranormal issues are created by themselves with their own traumas and what they bring in and what they manifest. And it's a matter of getting to the bottom of that. And that's why one of the big parts of Wardruna is not only the healing side of it, the metaphysical side of it, the therapeutic side of it, it is the home cases.
Correct.
In our home cases with myself, I oversee it. But our main person that runs the home cases is Penn Paranormal with Mary Jo Chugley leading on that.
Amazing woman.
So we have this huge Rolodex of people that I feel are the best of the best in our industry, or even outside of our industry. We got people from the Cleveland Clinic. We have a lot of cases that we get from the VA. which of course is big to us because with the veterans and all that, we are going to be at the Gettysburg Bash this year too, with that veteran backing and all that. And even the psychological side of it, of course, we're going to be at the Hollow, where their main theme is the people getting psychiatric help. But there's a lot of things that we're doing, Of course, New Orleans, we'll have that coming up because I know you're going to be there, Len. For me, yeah, for me being a producer of events also with the Shaman and the Showman, our next event coming up very soon in a couple weeks is the Connecticut Paracon, where we'll have both the very first ever Jason Ari Lehman and the most recent one, James Stokes. So we'll have, your bookends of Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. We'll have cryptid people, UFO people, paranormal people, metaphysical people, you name it. Great artists and craftsmen and people selling their wares and all that. But incredible speakers that have something to say and give that word out, and people take it in that atmosphere. All these paranormal conferences, the great thing about them is there's people, they're all like-minded people in a safe place to learn about the paranormal and try and get some of their questions answered. So we're excited about that.
Well, I have a couple of questions here.
Mm-hmm.
You say what Paracon you say was in a couple of weeks? The first one coming up?
Well, it's not the first. This is our 6th year. It's run by
the next one coming up.
That's the Connecticut Paracon. So that's the big one coming up. We do have, we are on here live, but there's still some tickets left for our day and evening with John Zaffis on Saturday at the Haunted Hillview Manor in Pennsylvania. So that's www.hauntedhillviewmanor.com. Go on the events, find that, get your ticket, come and see us. Because it's going to be Stacia and myself assisting with Mary Jo Chudley. And of course, the main person himself, the Godfather himself, Johnny Zaffis, will be there. Lots to learn from him, and you get to investigate with him. And we'll be around him too. So you get to have some fun with us too.
Okay. What's the next one coming up after that one?
So after Connecticut Paracon, I think that'll be the end of July. We'll have New Orleans, of course.
How about the Witch Fest?
That is August 8th and 9th. So that'll be like after New Orleans. So that'll be put in between there. We have Underworld Culture Con in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We have the Gettysburg Bash. We have the Hollow Paranormal and Film Festival. We'll have the Salem Paracon, which I run with Charles as the Shaman and the Showman. That'll be November 14th. There's a lot of psychic fairs littered in between. There's some investigations that you could come investigate with a lot of us in between. We will not stop until I think probably the end of the year into December.
Wow.
So we're nonstop. We'll probably be, I think we're going to be in about 19 states, different states by the time we're said and done at the end of the season.
No, there is an event. Yeah, October 10th, we have an event.
I wanted her to talk about this event. More
in Meriden, Connecticut. It's going to be at Gallery 53. It is the 7th annual benefit for my son. He will, on October 7th, will be 8 years. He has passed away. So him and I, we always did charity work. And the one thing his heart was very fond of was the animals. He always collected pet food for them. He would go up and volunteer. As a young child, my house was literally a makeshift hospital ward for doves, pigeons, snakes, whatever he found outside that needed, fixing up. He was Dr. Doolittle as late from a 2-year-old. So what we're going to do is at Gallery 53, my son was an avid reader. He also had a genius IQ and spoke multiple languages. We are holding an authors event this year. So there are a lot of the top-notch authors in the paranormal community. Literally, I will say the universe opened the door. I do not know how all of us had off October 10th. Literally, that was the day that Gallery 53 gave us, and everybody had it open. And I'm
Oh,
just
wow.
like, okay, this was meant to be.
Mhm.
So what it is, it's we're making a platform for all the authors to actually come in and talk about themselves, and then also sell their books. The entrance fee into this event is pet supplies for the Merit and Humane Society. With that, we're also going to have vendors. If the authors
There'll
are
be readers, psychic readers.
psychic readers there. So it's an author event, but like a little mini psychic fair. Like if any of the authors are readers, they can also read on top of their books. That evening, now I'm not going to read during the day. I'm going to host the event, but in the evening, Kenneth Drake and I are going to do a gallery. All that money is going to offset the cost of the use of the facility and stuff like that. So, you know, this
Donation to the
Yeah,
facility.
it's our donation to the facility. Then in the evening, Tom and Mary Jo are gonna do an investigation. So, you know, like I said, you know, we're donating money to offset the cost. It is not a cost for any of the vendors and authors to be there. And then they can also make money, promote themselves. Everybody gets dog food, everybody gets cat food, that, you know, this Humane Society's happy.
Yeah.
And I know my son will be smiling down upon us that day. So I'm really excited about that.
All right. We had a question, to pop it
Yes.
back up there real quick. Speaking different languages is normal behavior. Why is talking tongue classed as demonic?
Talking in tongue, I don't think
Well, talking in tongues isn't necessarily
It's not
demonic.
demonic, no.
It not necessarily demonic if you're going to look at it that way. There are people that you could go on both sides of things. When people are really filled with spirit, and Holy Spirit comes through them. In a lot of religions, it's believed that they speak in tongues, or just a language of relief, and it's almost like a release of what is on you into the goodness or into whatever your beliefs are. Demonic, not necessarily. That's takes a big discernment for a question like that. I don't want to generalize it, but there are certain situations when demonic is called in, and how it's dispersed and how you hear it could really pinpoint in on that. You know, sometimes people are just speaking gibberish, but sometimes there is a Latin feel to it, or that old language and all that that's recognized, especially in that situation. A lot of times it could be recognized by a priest, of course, us as shaman, and how we see things and how we interpret that veil. It's a hard way to look at it, but hopefully that answers the question.
Also being shaman, we don't consider most things demonic. I mean, what people say demonic, we see as 1%. Now, I do use the word familiar demons a lot, and I have to because I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm a shaman. I'm a spiritual life coach. So I can't say mental illness or trauma because I don't have a license by the state. So familiar demons is what I have to use so that I am within my scope of practice. But a familiar demon is just that. It's just trauma. It's where it enters in. But honestly, you know, Tom and I, we see, you know, a lot of things differently. And what people think might be demonic might be an ancestor coming through. It might be, you know, inherited trauma, DNA, language, whatever it may be. It might be you know, different levels of spirits coming through. It's not always demonic. We're really trying to break that cycle. But I mean, you go back to the story of Pentecost and how everybody was able to hear and what messages were. I actually never heard speaking in tongues as being called demonic. I always
No.
heard it, you know, as a spirit talk, but never demonic.
Yeah, it's just something comes over you.
Yes.
I don't want to say something's channeling through you for the greater good sometimes, but it could be. It could go either way. It's a very good question,
Very
but
much so.
for us, it's a little broad at this point. It would have to be a particular situation to look at.
Yeah, I think some people, when they don't understand something, they actually just like to throw the name tag, boom, demon. So, you know, it's a very broad question. You know, I would need to pinpoint a little bit more, maybe an example.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I
Sad
have
to say that the word demons equals TV ratings.
correct.
Is the way I look at it.
Correct. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
And it is dangerous. I talked on the last show that demon word could really destroy somebody for no reason at all. I talked about a case that was told to us where people that were unequipped went into a home investigation, and the boy there was actually mentally ill and had the beginnings of schizophrenia and all that. All he needed is somebody to recognize that and get him the help and get treated. But instead, this psychic decided to say, you're possessed by 72 legions of demons. So in his mind, when the next team got called in, because the people were still in need, but you can't get there right away. There's a lot of research that goes, and by the time that was able to happen, the boy was so distraught that he didn't want this to come on his family, decided to take his own life
Oh,
because he thought he had demons on it. So people going into these home cases, if you don't know what you're doing, don't go, because it's a totally different monster. It isn't like going to what we call a pay-for-play place to maybe get that adrenaline rush that you saw on a TV show or a movie. Home cases aren't for everybody, to the point where our team, home cases get really bad to trauma where kids are getting abused, and Stacia and I get called into court to testify to get kids to a safe place. So this is stuff that
Yeah,
happens.
we have a case here that Tom and I are subpoenaed. The state built the whole case on our testimony. So we got this call, and the woman was convinced her very young child was possessed by a demon. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Mm.
I instantly pinpoint what drugs they were on. That's something that I'm very good at doing. And when I said that to her, she's like, yeah, that's what we're using. The children got to a safe place. We did. You called Father Bob. We called Mary Jo. I called the therapist in the area.
Call the
And
whole team in to
we
make
did.
sure we're making the right decision, and it's not just it's a think tank. We
Exactly.
all depend on each other to come up with what's the best decision to help the situation.
Yeah, and in the end, I actually called John Zaffis, laid it out, and said we need to call CPS, and he goes, yes. So we did. I made a report. And that was that. And then all of a sudden we get subpoenas. And when you see Wardruna and then your name, it's like, okay, wait, this is real. So we had to call the prosecutor. She wanted our resumes of who we are, what we did in our past, and what we're doing now. She says, I looked you up. And once 10 emails out of information that we had, everything that I had, and she called us back the next day and she goes, I just want you to know this is one of the best put together, well put together groups I've ever seen. She said, you'd be surprised how many, it's demonic, it's evil. The devil made me do it. They're possessed. And it is trauma or drug use. And, we are excited that these children are in a safe place. We're hoping that the parents will take the help. They're fighting it right now. That's why we are going to a full-blown trial. And Tom and I are their main witnesses in this case. And, the state actually said that they were, very pleased with what they saw and how we put everything together.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
oh no, we're
Okay.
I was just talking under my breath. Sorry about that, buddy.
You do know how the New Orleans Paracon came about, don't you?
I think you were part of it some way or another. So
Okay, he's
It's all-
laughing. I need to hear this story.
It's all your fault, Len. No.
Let's hear the story, Len.
That's the exact words Chris uses.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all your fault, Lynn.
It's a big fault.
Yeah. See.
He even admits to cursing my name every time he writes a check.
That's amazing.
I talked him into doing this Paracon. Started talking him into it at 3:00 in the morning
Oh my God.
in front of the hotel I was staying at.
Yeah.
Last spring.
Oh my God.
And then the next morning, when we checked out and we were loading the car up, Gail and I, he comes by and we talk for another hour while we're packing the car about the ins and outs, the good side, the bad side of doing a Paracon.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually kind of talked him into doing the Paracon on the streets of New Orleans in the French Quarter.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how this was born.
And you two are still friends?
I'm hoping he doesn't strangle me during the con.
Yeah. He's just gonna walk by every time he sees you. He's gonna go, you know, Len, it's all your fault, buddy.
It's all your
It's all your
All
fault.
your fault.
I'll hear it a few times because where I'm going to be, they got a table set up where they're going to be in the lobby right
Yeah.
outside the con room. My two seating arrangement is going to be right there beside them.
Good.
Nice.
Good.
So I'm right. I'm
So
right
if
there
anything
with Jennifer.
goes wrong, he could slap you.
Exactly. I probably will get hit sooner or later.
Yeah.
And if you have to run and hide, you can just come underneath our table. We'll
Yeah, we'll
protect
hide you. We'll hide you from.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Y'all, or at least Rihanna at her table, will hopefully
Yeah.
hide me behind the table covers.
Yeah. She'll hide you too. So I know she'll be able to do that for you too. So you're covered, Len. You're covered. But I tell you, so far, conversations that I've had with Chris and all that, this is going to be a very good conference in one of the most haunted cities in the country. The history of it. They're going to have all these investigations and things to do, and it's very immersive, and which is always good for people, like I said, like-minded people, to be in a safe environment to experience the paranormal for what it is. And I'm excited, and I know it's their first year, and I feel a good success coming for them. And I know they're nervous. We've had conversation recently, but again, I've run tons of events over the years, and every time I'm always nervous, whether it's the first one or the sixth one, like Connecticut Paracon this year. There's always a nervousness behind it, but when it happens, the camaraderie that happens, the laughing, the fun, it just flows after that, and then it goes by too quick. It's like some people, when they get married, the people you actually want to get married to, the wedding goes by too quick. So it's that feel, it's that getting together, the like-minded people and all that. And it's always wonderful to see old friends and meet new friends, and have that way of, like, for me, being able to give somebody the platform to speak, for people to recognize who they are in this industry. Because one of my big things I've done over the years with Charles is I recognize people, I see them maybe online that never been at a Paracon before. And I go, they got something really cool to say. Let me have them come and give them a platform. And they grow from there. And it's like a proud papa moment when a lot of other places recognize them and start bringing them to their Paracons to speak. And it grows from there. It's a proud papa moment. But the thing is you need people in this industry to not have ego, to recognize somebody has something to say and give them that platform to say, and let other people hear it and grow this industry. It can't be ego. There can't be so many gatekeepers putting up the gate. We got to be there for all each other, and doing these shows and being with people like you, Len, to be able to spread the better word and get people more recognized. It's like the singing business. There's people on the radio, but there's people that aren't on the radio that are much better. So we have to recognize those and give them that opportunity.
And as I'm looking out over the city skyline, we forgot a Paracon, the first ever Cleveland Paracon,
Yeah.
September 11th and 12th. It's being put on by a member of Wardruna, Christopher Lee, and
Stephanie Pitts. Yeah.
And when Chris came to me last year, he sent me a message and he said to me, Stacia, he goes, I'm putting on the Cleveland Paracon. Will you be there? I said, yes. He goes, good, because I'm building a lot of things around you. And I'm like,
You better be there. I named this shit after you.
Christopher is an amazing medium. He's an amazing clairvoyant.
His name is Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee Jensen, correct.
That is a great name in the paranormal.
Absolutely is.
Fangs and all.
He is absolutely amazing. Like I said, he is one of the, he's one of the ones that helped shape Wardruna. We have some really hardcore members, and I don't even think everybody realizes who is in Wardruna.
The Rolodex there, the list of it, the practitioners, the metaphysical people. hypnotherapist, past life regret, anything
Clinic,
needed to
yeah.
get through to the bottom of your trauma,
Okay.
we have it.
Yeah.
Even somebody that could change your diet and help you with your diet to have a better life,
Okay.
to heal you. So
Yeah.
Let's keep walking down this path. Exactly what does Wardruna do for people, and who all is involved in it?
Oh, well, so Wardruna was a brilliant idea by my spirit guides. Okay. I'm going to tell you there. Yes. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. So I come from a Russian family. We're actually known as the Carpatho-Rusins. There's less than 1 million of us left. There's only about 120,000 of us identified. And we are known for our gifts. I'm known as a Mulfor. And with that being said, I was one of 101 grandchildren, great grandchildren, at the age of 14 when my Bubba passed. These women produced. But there was a lot of generational trauma and healing. I am the most gifted out of the family, but I have come to realize I am the generational curse breaker. With that being said, the family curse, that family demon, landed at my door. And my mother was extremely abusive with me. She did not get her trauma underway. She was the first one to break out to talk about the sexual abuse, but she didn't know how to correct the abuse and how to heal from it. So when it landed at my door, I was abused by my mother. I was also abused by her brother. I was the one to say, you people are all crazy and it stops here. And we're going to watch over the children, or you're going to basically eat a baseball bat. That's literally how I came at it. I mean, I'm not joking. I went and I knocked at my uncle's door, and I looked at his wife and said, bitch, make me a cup of tea and we're going to sit here and we're going to talk. So yeah, that's really how that went down. But I took my power back. I wasn't going to be a victim. So with that, I go on my path and I start hearing my spirit guides give me little tidbits. And they started putting people in my path. And they might have been a medium. They might have been a Reiki healer. It might have been a therapist. Literally would show up in front of me. I would meet these people and I would end up reading them. They would read me. There'd be some sort of healing. And then all of a sudden I became the Pied Piper of all of this. Then I met my friend Gina Burton. And she said to me, why are you collecting all these people? Like, what is this? And I said, oh, well, this is Wardruna. She goes, where did you get that name? I said, a message. That's what it's supposed to be. It means keep her the secret, she who whispers. So we keep going on. I'm healing my trauma, making, myself a healthier version, being able to touch people along the way. Now I'm working in power plants and I was the occupational health and safety. My door was always open. Men would just come in and drop to their knees and tell me their story. And I'm like, why do people do this? Okay. So then there started a whole level of that. I met Tom 2 years ago and I looked at him and I said, I just got done running this occupational health and safety. I'm literally retiring. I met him in end of 2024. I'm getting ready to shut the door on this 20-year business that was massive. And I just said, I love doing Wardruna. I just don't want to run anything. I want to do my portion. That's all I want to do. Would you like to run this for me? And he's like, I've been doing this work.
Yep.
He goes, it just never had a name. And I never understood how it was going to fully come together. So with that being said, what happens is a lot of people, they have trauma, they have hardcore abuse. Abuse itself is known to give you gifts. It messes with the HPA axis of the brain. It makes you very heightened and aware of your surroundings. And like I said, I've done a lot of studies with a lot of these major clinics. And so with that being said, you might see grandpa standing at the end of the bed and you go and run and find out grandpa just died. You're having these experiences. So people, even though therapy is not taboo anymore, some people don't want to explain these situations. So they come to a shaman. So when you sit down in front of me, all of a sudden everything opens up and I'm talking to all the ancestors, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Anything that's in your wheelhouse, from a hamster to a second grade teacher to whatever saint. Sometimes it's literally like the saints come marching in. So with that, when I start pulling out that I'm sorry dad was an alcoholic, this is generational from this side, and on your mom's side, they're Hungarian and they went through this, but your dad's side is Irish, and their mouths are dropped open. And then I look at them and say, you ready for therapy? Because I have a therapist for you. And they're very open to it. That's like when the Cleveland Clinic came in. This psychiatrist wanted to see how this worked. And she said, you got out of them in 10 minutes. What takes me 10 months? I said, the dead are telling on them. I always say my tagline is the dead are here to fix the shit they created. They want the generational lines healed. Now, University Hospital, I have talked to their genetic department. And
big one.
yeah, and I want to do some more work with them. The thing about that is we carry in our DNA code 10 generations of trauma. So the Bible says 7. Scientists have actually pinpointed at 10. So you might have a fear that your great-great-grandfather in World War I experienced, or that your great-great-grandmother had to go through of a rape or abuse, and you don't understand why. So all these things get unlocked. That's why we have people like Larry Allen and Raven Wolf and Christopher Lee that do past life regression. We have Samaya, who unlocks the Ashkaic records. We have the whole group of shamans. We have mediums. We have house cases. We have therapists. Now with therapy, we do like to use the EMDR and DBR, because when they're coming to us, that is more the talk session. We've already pulled off the scab. Let's get in there and do the cognitive brace, part of the brain, the reconstruction, to make these traumas a little bit less down. We have sat there and we have called sponsors from AA at 2:00 in the morning. They're at our doorstep and, here's AA rolling in. It's like, okay, now I can go home and go back to bed. It's
Yeah, we definitely, like 2:00 in the morning, we're talking to somebody.
wow.
We're talking to somebody that you could actually hear death coming on them.
correct.
And they're trying to keep themselves from taking that next drug. And we could feel that if they take that drug, it's all over for them.
We're literally begging them,
And we're-
don't take it.
And we're
Respect.
talking them on the phone all the way to the front entrance of a hospital to get them.
We have, our therapist online
Yeah.
calling the hospital, talking to social work, saying that the man is pulling up right now. Get him help. So, we've literally in different states have walked people to the front door of hospitals to get them help. I mean, that's what this is about. Did I land in the paranormal world? I did. It's not what I expected, but then I started seeing, when I talk about demons, people are chasing their own demons. And what better way to get control? Something enters the family line at some point. These things don't go away. They sit in the corner and they wait and they taunt you. When somebody sits down in front of me, I always say it's like the book of Job. I see what enters in and I'm like, well, shit. Okay. They're getting ready to fall off the wagon, or they're getting ready to go back to this abusive, boyfriend. And I have to hurry, talk them through this and get them the help they need to move in a better life and in a better light, and to heal the next generation and help their children. So that's really what, how Wardruna got started. I openly talk about my abuse. I'm not upset about it. It made me who I am. I'm disgusted by what happened to me, but that's normal to be disgusted. I'm sad at times that a little girl got hurt, but at the same time, I feel it was put upon me because I was the mole for, and I was going to come forward. I have a lot of people, I'll be out shopping. I could be at Walmart and I'll have somebody that's a medium who will come over to me and go, are you a Russian? I'm like, yes. They're like, there's a Bubba standing beside you, patting you, saying, you saved her. You're her granddaughter. You saved the family. And that means a lot to me that, my Bubba, walks around. I loved my great grandma. I loved my grandma.
Yeah.
And, to see that they come around me and people that I don't know walk up and tell me about it. Because my grandma Sue, my mom's mom, she was one of the original Rosie the Riveters. She went through massive abuse, quit school 2 weeks before graduation, hitchhiked across the country from Pennsylvania to Arizona, joined the army, was in that group of women that were riveters, and she fixed airplanes, earned a Purple Heart, became a chaplain, served as a chaplain for 44 years.
Wow.
So, and if you understood the abuse that went on with her father, the church, it is a horrific story. And even though she was abused by priests, that her father allowed this to happen, she became a chaplain. And her faith was that strong. So, that means a lot to me. And I hope I do her proud.
Yeah,
I do.
definitely. She definitely does her proud. And a lot of people got to understand, anybody watching right now, you hear the word shaman, all right? Shaman is actually originated in Russia.
It's a
Russian word. That's where it originated. Some people, I get this all the time, like, oh, you say you're a shaman, you don't even look like you're an Indian. It's not really that Native American thing. Native Americans rather be called like a medicine man, a woman, or healer. Shaman, or depending, wherever you're from, Ireland, Farfasa, or the ones that speak with the fairies or things like that. There's so many different connotations, but it really comes down to shaman originated as a Russian word. And but the other thing is a lot of people want to throw around, I'm a shaman, you're a shaman. You got to understand, it's something that's chosen.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's hard to be chosen.
It is.
You go through a lot. The trauma that you go through, the sickness that you go through when the decision isn't made right, and they're knocking on the door all the time, like Back to the Future. Hello, McFly. Wake up, McFly. You got a calling here, and if you don't do this calling, we're going to create this problem in your life.
Yeah.
And it's on, and it's crazy. And the thing is, it's a lot of it's ancestrally driven. Ancestors before were this. They were chosen. You're the next one in the line. You're the next one in the generation to take on this gift to help people. You have to answer the gift.
That's what I noticed, because I do come from a line of gifted people. And a lot of people will take a class or a course and they call themselves a shaman. That's not a shaman, that's shamanistic practices. They need to understand that. Or they they take peyote or lick a frog and talk to a tree, and now they're a shaman. That's not quite how it works. Okay, you did get to talk to God at that moment, but that doesn't make you a shaman. I was
close to seeing God.
Yes, I was born with extra teeth. I was born with extra electrical hardware. And my mother was born with extra bones in her feet. That is a trait of a shaman, is taking the body parts from another life and bringing them along with you. So with that, like I said, my mother was a shaman also. She broke out and spoke first about the abuse. She basically went, hey, everybody look over here. But they beat her down really, really bad that she broke. And my mother was an extreme fractured soul. And I've had to let go of that part. I look at the love language that she had, and I choose to look at that and the things that she taught me, rather than what she did to abuse me. So when it came to me, out of the 4 kids, I was the one that was abused. I was the firstborn, but I was also the chosen. I was the shaman. And my journey was to be that stubborn ass, pain in the ass Aquarian that just went, yeah, that's not correct. And I would get beat so bad by her. She would beat coffee cups over my head until the handle broke. And me being the asshole that I am, go, yeah, that's not right. I just, it doesn't matter. No, but I don't care how hard you hit me with that coffee cup or how many lumps I have. No, you're not correct on that. Sorry. And she would always go, you're not compliant. So everybody, January 30th, 1974, got a memo that I am not compliant. Never have been, and I won't be. So But I do see it as, I see my grandmother, she also was gifted. And then my great grandma, then my grandmother, my mother, and me. And each one broke a little bit of the cycle until, well, I just, blew the roof off the whole damn thing and said, you're all crazy.
Blew up the Hoover Dam.
Exactly.
The Hoover Dam is now gone. Well, then again, she's from the Johnstown area, so,
Yeah, talk about dams bursting. And, it was very much of the area.
That,
Had that energy going.
that was a lot of bad news when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Very haunted place. Very haunted.
Yeah. So it's, yeah.
I'd never
Incredible.
been there. That's kind of on my bucket list
Well,
because that was an awful situation.
Well, I will tell you, they have a Paracon there every year. I have really never stepped out in my area. Now, more people do know. The politicians knew. They kept me under wraps and utilized me to call what they needed. So, Bill Rigby, an amazing man, him and I were talking. He is in charge of, he took over the Paracon this year. So next year, we're actually looking at bringing the Wardruna group there and really me stepping out in my hometown on stage. And that's a little scary. It honestly is. But, it is time to go home and be open to what I've done. I mean, it's not like they don't know it now.
Yeah, where it all started, really, you're going back to the roots of her recognizing who she was, what she went through, how she overcame it, to bring it back to her hometown, to show them that there's two things that are going to happen in your life, all right, for healing. You could either let it eat you alive or you could overcome it. And she gets to come back and show how she overcame.
Yeah.
And maybe helps those people that are still in that cycle of letting it eat them alive. So that's what's important, especially in this industry.
Yeah, I've always thought me doing this kind of show was a calling for me.
Yeah.
Because as
Absolutely.
a child, I used to watch Joey Bishop and Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And I always said, I'm just a few years old at this point. I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to do this show
Yeah.
is to bring other people, other things, like Wardruna, ask questions, how it started, how it's going, what you do.
Yeah.
Talking about a Paracon. What are you going to do at the Paracon? How can people get hold of you? And that's just what I like to do.
Yeah.
I'm happy now.
It's exactly what it is. Are you happy, and do you try and bring happiness or healing to people? Anybody's calling or their purpose, it doesn't matter how small, medium, large it is. It's your purpose and all that. Some people's purpose, they can go their whole life and say, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? They could be the person that pushes somebody out of the way to keep from getting hit in the car, and that was their purpose. That's what they're here to do. That's one of the greatest things you'll ever be able to do, is save somebody's life. But people are always looking for something, but all you got to do is look in the mirror and find what makes you happy and all that, and stick with it, and everything will fall into place. Too many people try things that aren't making them happy. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. All right? Figure something else out. A new chapter starts the next day. That book, you got a clean page, rewrite your story and start from scratch.
When you said about, a little piece, when I was given the message of what the name of the group was supposed to be, I was told this is a we and not an I. So when I always say we're co-founders, because even though I started this, everybody in Wardruna had their own journey and we came together. Each piece is a puzzle. This is a piece of the puzzle. And, we're entering in, well, this is what they told me, is we're entering into the age of Aquarius. The I is falling aside, the whole name and lights. That's not what it's about. It's about raising the vibration of the whole. And the more we do it together and we paint this picture of humanity and we heal and we love, that's what we have to do. I mean, marketing myself, this was always something that I was very humbled on. So sometimes like marketing myself or having to like put myself in a spot or fight for a spot, it actually is very uncomfortable for me. But I know I have to push through this to get the message out. Maybe somebody sits in front of me once, but I push them off to another reader, which I've had. Maybe it's somebody who needs somebody of African American descent, or somebody who is with the LGBTQ. Do you see what I'm saying? There's something else there. Maybe it is a man who's coming to me sexually abused, but he's going to be a little bit more comfortable to talking to one of the other readers who has gone through that experience. They come to me and I have no problem passing them off. This is not about me. This is about them and their journey. And, I'm usually just, the first stepping stone into, this healing line. They usually do come back around about like a year or so. If I do pass them off to say, hey, my God, this was amazing. I've been trying to get healed for 15 years. It took a year in this system. So, it's very nice. And what's nice is where I used to have, they would go to me, come back, go to me, come back. And I'm putting them at different places. This whole system got so used to healing. They have come back and they're like, I saw this one, this one, this one, and this one. I'm like, this is working. Like, I don't even have to, they just utilize each other now in the Rolodex. And it has become a beautiful experience. Each person that comes before me, I notice I'm being healed a little bit more also.
It works both ways a lot.
Yeah.
In the system. It works both ways. Believe it or not, when somebody comes to somebody like Stacia, her being a shaman, and they have their issues and she reads through it, sometimes that person has a message for her and they don't even know they're giving a message, and she picks up on it, something that heals her. So it's always good to have that open mind and that back and forth, and never put yourself in the position that you can't hear the message too.
Yeah.
So you should be open both ways. I said it before, hey, I've been doing the paranormal for 40 years. I have all this information and all this other stuff and this experience, but yet I'm humble enough to see somebody that just entered in their first day might have something profound for me to say to help me learn my path and how I do things and help people.
The information you're giving me is almost overwhelming. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
I really thank you for telling your story.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
The one thing, when my son passed away, it was very hard. He had just turned 22. My only child, totally lived for this young man. And my first visit from him, he came to me and I remember just hugging him. It was a dream and I hugged him. And he's like, Mom, I want to show you something. And this door opened up. It was beautiful. Very much Salvador Dali looking, okay? And I looked at him and I said, have you found all the answers that you're looking for? He said, almost, because this kid was brilliant. And I said, can I please ask you what's the meaning of, what is the meaning of life? And he goes, Mom, that's easy. It's love. I just wish everybody understood that. And I always say, if you can't love, at least respect. We do have words with people. I'm one, if somebody does me wrong, I forgive them. If they do me wrong again, I might put up a boundary and say, you know what, that's enough. I'm not going to have you back in my life. But honestly, at that point, I don't want to dwell on it anymore. I don't want it in my life. I won't talk bad about them. If I see them in public, I will address them professionally. I don't like to hold that animosity. I don't like that feeling. I grew up with that. And I released that, when I decided I wasn't going to be like my family was the Thanksgiving. No, the Monday after Thanksgiving, 1989. That's how pivotal that day was for me. And, I remember it. And I totally decided to walk another path and not be like that. So, that's a message I have for everybody is, you cannot control somebody else. You will be judged for how you treat another person. They will be judged for how they treat you. And if somebody keeps doing you wrong, you don't have to keep bringing them back in because other people are friends with them or their family. You don't have to. You have a right to say, yeah, no, you're not doing that to me anymore. But don't keep holding on to it. Let it go. Wish them well and live your best life. That's what you need to do. Take it as a lesson. Don't keep holding on to that hot coal. You're just going to keep getting burns.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I did.
Yeah.
By the way, I was adopted at birth, so my original parents I have no clue.
Yeah.
And So I live a quite different life than most people. I have no idea my heritage, no clue. My my mother, she was basically thrown out of her family uh, long before I was born. She was set up with a marriage with one man. He was abusive, but she walked out on him finally, and her family basically just kicked her out of the family. And my father picked her up and married her and all that. I was so much younger than my other cousins because I was not born until my father was 37, and he was the youngest of the family. So I only had one grandmother, and she rarely spoke to me because she didn't like us because we were not, in her bloodline. So people said, I love my grandparents, or I only had two grandparents, or I lost them a few years ago. Basically, I grew up without grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the harder road to hoe.
I would have to agree with you on that. Grandparents are very, very important. They
People
very
don't
much are.
people don't know what they have when they've got a pair of grandparents.
Hmm.
They add so much to your life, and
Absolutely.
and people need to take advantage of that vast knowledge they have of living, the experiences, while they can, because you're not going to have grandparents forever.
Yeah. And I like that you said that. When my son passed away, he left behind a pregnant fiance.
Ooh.
My grandson, and he'll be the only grandchild that my blood grandchild. He had two sets of great grandparents. He has oh my gosh, there's wait, one, two, it was my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grandparents.
Oh wow!
Three of us have partners that they act like grandparents. I mean, Tom is a grandparent to him. I mean, he's 7 now, so he's starting to understand his father's not there, and it's really starting to affect him. So on Father's Day, I get a text, yeah, it's Father's Day. And I says, I know, buddy. I said, how you doing? I said, I love you. He goes, I'd like to talk to Tom. So Tom gets on the phone with him, and my grandson is an avid collector of smoke detectors. He can
Smoke
look at a
detector.
smoke detector and say, that is the model number, that's the make, and this is the batteries. He knows, and I'm very proud of him because I did safety. He knows, the ANSI rules. He knows when to switch them out. I mean, for 7 years old, I mean, he is obsessed. So the two of them sat on the phone for 40 minutes and talked smoke detectors and fans, anything that, goes around in a circle. And then he finally just said, okay, Tom, you can hang up if you like. I'm done.
It was that moment for him that I really think that he knew it was Father's Day, still coming to terms that his father has passed and he doesn't have him, and he's looking for that male figure to let him know everything's okay. A lot of these kids need that. That's something Stacia knows. A lot of the work I've done, even before I met Stacia, a lot of the teams up in Connecticut where I used to live, I'm out here in Ohio now, a lot of them would reach out to me because I specialize with working with children in paranormal situations. And I still do that, and I still understand the healing part of it and what kids are going through and their traumas and not knowing how to make sense of it. A lot of the kids that go to school and they draw the picture of the ugly shadow man when it's actually something not spiritual, it's something else, and we have to get them that help. Kids are very important to me. I have 2 kids of my own and all, and a lot of people out there, of course, it's a lot of these kids, especially at grandson's age, that are vulnerable to that stuff, and to make sense of it. And you have to pull back and take a look. Sometimes it isn't that ugly demon and all that. It's other stuff. And we have to really discern that properly to help kids grow. and have a better life and not be put in those situations.
But New Orleans is going to be interesting for y'all.
Yes. And when we come to New Orleans, we are going to give you the official Poopy Doopy avocado sticker.
Yep. So
It is a character that my grandson and Tom designed. We actually asked my grandson, what do you want on your pizza? And he said Poopy Doopy avocado. That's all it took Tom to laugh. It became a full-blown character. There's videos, there's a little safety book coming out, there's a song. So we will give you the official Poopy Doopy avocado sticker.
Mhm.
And so-
along with our Dickie the dinosaur one.
yeah, Dickie the dinosaur, yes. See, this is what it's about. It's about having fun. There's times we go into these investigations and the spirits still want to be funny. They have a sense of humor. Not everything is a demon. Not everything is scary. They want to laugh. If they are grabbing you, they're probably trying to get your attention for something.
Yeah, they want to hear an old song. We like to figure out, with history where this person might have grown up at a certain time. You play a song on the radio with them and you get those responses. It's a matter of bringing up that vibration, and that way you could get measurements and more data that way to help the next generation get closer to maybe a conclusion or an answer that we don't have, because we're looking at people like Ed and Lorraine Warren and people like that didn't have all the answers at the time. They did what they could with that moment, and they gave us the building blocks, and then we built on top of that, and we're getting more and more answers. But if we make it stagnant and we fight with each other and we don't come up with those ideas, we don't sit at the kitchen table to exchange those ideas, we don't have that time with the spirits. Spirits are just like us. The meat suit's gone. Talk to them like we're talking right now. They might be stuck here. They might have an anchor here. What's their trauma? Let's talk and let's have fun with them and get to the bottom of it. Sometimes if you're talking too serious, like me, most people, if you're talking serious to them, they're afraid to speak out. But if you break the ice and you have fun with them, that trauma comes out. And the next thing you know, they trust you enough to help them find the other side and get out of here when they don't want to be here anymore.
If I can tell you a story about a relationship
Be my
that I
guest.
built with two spirits. So Haunted Hillview Manor is a place that is very near and dear to me. I love it. It's in Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
We'll be there
Mhm.
Saturday with
Yeah,
John
we'll be
Zaffis.
there Saturday with John Zaffis. And so every time I go there, there are these two rooms, and I put the tripwires down and I play music for these two women, and they dance around. I mean, I play polkas, everything, and they literally just light this up. It's amazing. So I was not feeling well last year, having a lot of, and I don't speak openly about my health issues. So I do have a defibrillator. I have a pacemaker defibrillator. I do have some, health issues with my heart. Everything is really good right now. I'm happy about that. But on October 27th, I had a procedure. Didn't quite go according to plan.
Uh-oh.
And the doctors were not getting back to me. And it was one of these things I kept calling them, which I've done before, because why didn't you go to the emergency room? It's usually just an antiarrhythmic medication, the healing, all that needs to go. So by Wednesday, we are out at Haunted Hillview to film a live.
It was a promo, yeah.
Yeah, it was a promo for the upcoming event on the Day of the Dead. So this woman kept coming across the spirit box and saying, Stacia, Stacia. Now, they never say my name. I always get called a bad name. They think it's funny.
See you next Tuesday.
It's the name I got called in the power plants a lot.
Mhm.
We're just going to leave that there. And I find it funny because I'm thinking, okay, if that's what you want to call me, it's not going to bother me. But when the woman's voice kept going, Stacia, Stacia, then all of a sudden the tripwires were going off a color that they're not even supposed to go off. It was like an amber color. And it started doing Morse code. And when we wrote it down, it was my name.
Yeah.
And I started really not feeling well. I said, I'm going to go down into the conference room. You guys, keep going. So by Friday, I'm really not doing well. The doctors keep saying, we'll call you back. Never call me back. Saturday, they're trying to get me not to go to Haunted Hillview. We're about an hour and 40 minutes away. We're driving out. And I look at Tom. I said, I don't think we're going to be there long. This is the first year for this event. Maybe it's not a busy year. Maybe this event isn't, something that's really going to kick off. So we get there, I sit down, and I hear a voice right behind me. And this voice, it was a woman's voice, said, "Eat now. You're not going to eat for a while."
Same voice from same
I'll
voice from
turn around there. I mean, it's just the corner of the room. I look at Tom. I said, honey, do you want to go get us sandwiches at Subway? He goes, why are you hungry? I went, no, but this voice just told me we better eat. It's going to be a while. He said, okay. So he goes to Subway. He gets us sandwiches. So I have a 6-inch turkey, baked Lay's, and he got me an unsweetened iced tea from McDonald's. I ate the sandwich and everything. I had these two women who came in. They're a beautiful couple, Tracy and Lori, and they actually handed me an Anubis they made, literally handed me Anubis and said, here, we made you a gift. And I'm like, thank you. So I put it down. They're my first reading. They said, just come down and get us when you're done eating. So I get done eating. I looked at him. I said, I'm going to use the restroom, and I'm going to go down and get Lori and Tracy. So I went to the restroom. I walked to the chapel. This is less than 10 minutes after eating. I say to them, girls, I'm ready for you. And they said, we'll be right there. Just, they're volunteers there. Let us, fix this up. I said, okay. I'm walking up and I'm getting dizzy. And I just lay my head on the cold plaster wall of this haunted poor farm. It was also like a nursing home and hospice center at one time. I lay my head up against the wall. I am beside the embalming room. You cannot make this up, okay? I walk in the door, and the next thing I hear, boom. The next thing I know, I'm on the ground getting up. And I was beside an electric heater when I stepped in the room. And I said, I think there's something wrong with your heater. And then I went, oh, wait, no, my defibrillator just went off. I start laughing. And they're like, why are you laughing? I'm like, I just died on the Day of the Dead, and I'm here to tell you about it. And I start laughing. I'm like, I'm by an embalming room. So, and I'm like in a haunted location. I knocked so many things off my bucket list that day. Things I never thought I'd get to just because,
Let's just say where everybody was panicking, I was like, I think I better eat this sandwich because the spirit said you better eat.
It's gonna be better eat.
Better finish this up.
So I get a wonderful hospital, ambulance ride to UPMC where they could not figure out what to do with me. And I said, listen, my heart is actually in journals. It's a very odd case. So here's the PA's number. So this poor guy comes back in and says, don't be alarmed, but honey, we called the bus and we're going to take you to Cleveland Clinic. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Cleveland Clinic. Send me to University. He goes, no, Cleveland Clinic is the #1 heart hospital. And I'm arguing back and forth with this guy. He finally goes, why do you want to go to University? I'm like, that's where all my doctors are. He goes, where are you from? I said, Cleveland, get me home. So they light flighted me home. Poor Tom just moved up here.
Yeah.
I will say this a million times. Thank you, Samaya. She kept him sane on the phone, driving that hour and a half to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
I don't see well in the dark.
Yeah, I do all the nighttime driving.
Yeah.
And he's on these back farm roads in the Appalachian Mountains, okay?
Pitch black.
Yeah, in the Alleghenies, all this coming back.
Spirit was guiding me to make sure I got there safe. I'll tell you that.
So I get there that night. You don't eat anything. The next morning I says, can I order breakfast? They're like, no, we don't know what test the doctors want. I'm like, okay. So lunch comes. I'm like, can I order lunch? You're like, no, we don't know what test the doctors are going to run. I'm like, okay. So now we're at dinner. I'm like, can I order dinner? They're like, no, the doctors, they want to talk to you. So they came in. They said, we need a 24-hour fast. And I said, what? And they're like, yes, we need to do this nuclear medicine on you and everything, but it's 24-hour fast. I said, but I fasted for 24 hours. They're like, no liquids or anything. So they allowed me to have some liquid and Jello until midnight. I had to go another 24 hours. I literally went over 48 hours with nothing in my system.
Wow.
So with that being said, we were at the psychic fair.
Yeah.
And we pulled out the box.
Yeah.
And no, I'm sorry. We went to Haunted Hillview with
Yeah.
Culture Swap, the influencer group.
Yeah.
And I
That was
asked,
fun.
yeah, and I asked them, I said on the box, I said, I heard Stacia. And I said, who is that? She goes, Mary. And I'm like, okay. So there's 2 Marys that are spirits in that hospital. So at Psychic Fair, I said, let's go down here to this Mary. It was an older lady. And I said to her, I said, Mary, was that you on Spirit Box? And she went, I said, was that you that told me to eat? She goes, no. I said, okay, is that you on Spirit Box? She's like, yes. I said, who told me to eat? You came across Anna, the woman across the room. Mary and Anna are the two I always lay the tripwires out and play their favorite music, like the polkas and everything. So I built this relationship with these two women spirits that when I was in need, they came to my aid.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a cool story. Appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
I
Are
think
y'all
Glenn's at
going?
a loss for words on that
Uh-huh.
one.
Which is pretty amazing. Are y'all going to be doing any of the ghost hunts down in New Orleans?
No, we weren't in part of that at all. You know, you never know if anything's going to change, but Stacia and I right now, we'll have our booth for people to come and hear more about Wardruna at our booth, get readings from Stacia and all that. I mean, tell you, people fly from other countries just to come to her office and sit with her. It's, I've been in this business for over 40. I've worked with some of the best psychic mediums and all that. Just because she's my partner doesn't mean I'm going to blow smoke up her ass. She's probably the best at what she does that I've ever seen.
Thank you.
But you got to understand, everybody reads differently. Her way of reading, the evidence that she gets, the nostalgia that she comes up with, people come out of there either crying, laughing, every emotion you could think of. But people come out after reading with her a better person. Not a worse person, a better person, and a person that has the answers they were looking for. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I've had cases, one ended up on Dateline, one ended up on cold case files, where, I turned it around. So I was very proud of those. I didn't come out and say I was on it because one is of the area and involved police, and I don't want to end up at the bottom of Lake Erie. Okay. I really, and now that I found out that sea lampreys are here, I unlocked a new fear. I do not want to go into the lake at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of police work. I've done a lot of politician work. But my biggest work is seeing somebody get happy and healthy
Mhm.
and function,
You'll
as-
sleep.
be able to sleep, understand what love is. Love isn't, our parents didn't always give us love in the way that the Leave It to Beavers, it isn't, it isn't like that. You have to look at the love language and you have to put aside their abuse. And you don't have to like it. You don't have to, there's things that my parents did, I don't like, but I choose to look past that and understand the love and what they were capable of.
Yeah, so it is. And even being down in New Orleans where everybody's going to be able to hear about what we do for people and just sit with us. And maybe hopefully we could put them on the path to a little bit more, but be there to answer paranormal questions, metaphysical questions, questions about our family, our ancestral ties, those types of things. It's very vast. And we're excited to be able to do that for the people that come to the Paracon there. But also, her and I are very excited because both of us never been to New Orleans. We're going to enjoy the food, the atmosphere, the sights, being able to speak on the Warren panel. And just, I'm proud because I get to talk about my mentors and the woman that basically saved my life to help me understand what the hell was going on and why I saw what I saw. And be able to do that and give back for where my circle started, especially with people like my friend John that I've known for many, many years, and being able to share that stage with, of course, Stacia and Father Bob and Bill and all that. And it's going to be kind of a full circle moment almost in a way. And I very much appreciate Chris and Jennifer for putting this on, and Len, of course, for you coming up with the idea at 3 a.m. with them. So that's always a big thing too.
Now, I just think that you kind of held him against his will while he was hired and had him agree to it. I am now convinced. So, Chris, if you do need help, you need some therapy from this abuse, please come forward. No, we really thank, Chris and Jennifer and you for putting this together. I've always wanted to go to New Orleans. I had my sister who lived down there. Her husband was doing his internship as a cardiac, anesthesiologist, and it was during COVID. So I never got to go down while they lived there. So I'm extremely excited to see a city that my sister loves and just enjoy it with, what I consider family, friends, just to be able to actually, meet you personally, give you a hug, but be in this beautiful city. And to have, Chris and Jennifer be able to give everybody this experience is absolutely amazing.
When are y'all coming down?
We'll be down early. I think we're driving, which her and we love driving.
Mhm.
Everybody says, "Oh, you gotta." No. We love driving. We love stopping and seeing things again, like things we've never seen before. Just taking in the history as we come down the corridor there. But we'll probably be there like Thursday,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
And then the day before everything starts, and we'll go home the day after everything's over. So let's put it that way.
We need to exchange cell phone numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can contact each other that Thursday, because Gail and I are arriving in New Orleans Monday evening.
Wow. Yeah.
We're actually going to Vicksburg first. It's been 2 nights in Vicksburg.
Nice.
And then we're coming down for Monday night. They're in New Orleans. We're not checking out till Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That's perfect.
So what are you doing in Pittsburgh?
Or Vicksburg.
Oh, Vicksburg or Pittsburgh?
Vicksburg.
Oh, Vicksburg. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought Pittsburgh. I'm like,
Vicksburg, it's not out of the way. We go
okay.
we kind of bounce off Vicksburg going to New Orleans from here.
Nice.
So we're just going to stop by there, go by the cemetery where a lot of Civil War people are buried,
Yes.
Yeah.
and go and close to where the battle was, and we're also going to tour the Ironclad.
Nice.
Nice. I love history. That's why we like to drive, because we stop at all these little things.
Mhm.
We do little lives, it just
It was
is
like
nice.
Father's Day. We went to the Lakeview Cemetery here up in Cleveland, and some of the most famous people from history are buried there. I went to see Elliot Ness's grave. Is there, Freed's grave's there, the guy that came up with Alan Freed, who came up with rock and roll, the name. His tombstone is actually a jukebox.
It's really cool.
So,
Really?
Which is really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize is, John D. Rockefeller's buried there too, because he did a lot of his youth in getting his companies going while he was in Cleveland, even though he did a lot of it outside of Cleveland. But he decided to come back here, and this is where he was buried. And of course, James Garfield's buried here. Ohio's what has the most presidents ever come from Ohio in the history and all that. I did a little tidbit today about a hockey thing. I do weird, spooky facts from Ohio, and it was about the Columbus Blue Jackets. And originally, they were going to have a different name, but they decided to stick with Blue Jackets because in history, the reason why people are like, why do you call them Blue Jackets? That's such a weird name. No, the Union Army had blue. All right. And Ohio is the state that the most soldiers were sent to fight for the Union Army were from Ohio, hence the Blue Jackets. So it's a little tidbit of history for you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you can arrive a little bit earlier, Thursday, Gail and I are taking a river cruise
Nice.
that goes to the battlefield for about an hour and a half stop.
And that's on Thursday?
I believe so, yes.
We just might be leaving Tuesday.
A little earlier. Get a little closer there.
And, you're on the river, on a riverboat, steamboat, on the river. You go down a little bit, and take a nice afternoon cruise.
Yeah.
But they do stop at the battlefield.
Nice.
Back in 1814.
Nice.
You remember the song, right?
Which one?
In 1814, we took a little trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Down in New Orleans on the mighty Mississippi. Da, 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 da.
It's very Mark Twain of you. So
so we've been on one of the ships down there.
Yeah.
And we've got two of them, different destinations. So we're going to go on the other one and stop by the battlefield for a little bit.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's just incredible energy.
Yeah.
When you experience history, the vibration that occurs, I feel very blessed, and I know Stacia feels very blessed. When we experience history and the energy that's left there, not only are we witnessing what's left, but we're feeling the energy of what was there.
Yeah.
And we're blessed that we get to experience that whole 360 view of it, which is nice. So
Speaking of history, my hometown, Columbus, Georgia, was the second largest provider of arms for the Confederacy, second only to Richmond.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The ironwork for where a lot of the weapons were built is still standing and is actually a convention center now.
Really?
Yes.
Convention center. Geez, you could have a Paracon there. There you go, Len. I mean, now I'm giving you the idea, and I'm gonna run you at 3:00 in the morning to have a Paracon at the convention
Chris,
center.
we're going to keep him up and you can wear him down.
Chris is gonna hear that, and now he's gonna return the favor to you there, buddy. So
the main room in the con can hold 2,000 people.
wow, yeah, that's what you need. Anytime you run like one of these Paracons, you got to find a space that at least is 500 plus. So just to make sure that the fire marshal doesn't kick your ass out. Right. We only get kicked out when we go to Airbnbs and all that, but you
got kicked out of anything when I was in high school. I cannot believe as an adult I got kicked out of an Airbnb for having a beautiful candlelit dinner.
Yeah, so people are afraid of hearse, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
Ask me about it. She was there.
Too many weirdos in one place at one time, I guess. The energy.
You know what? If you would have looked at this dinner party, Lee Tran, Gwen, Matt, Christina Bloom.
Yeah.
We were there. You had Samaya, you had Raven Wolf, you had Johnny Zaffis, you had Jimmy Petnito, Mr. Haunted. I mean, this was a packed, star-studded dinner event, and it was all shut down.
They kicked us all out.
The Radicals were there.
Yeah, Danny and Lauren Perez. And
we could just keep naming how many people were there.
Yeah,
we're all kicked out.
Probably that's why we got kicked out, because maybe there was one too many people there, I guess. But we told them we were going to have that, and they still kicked us out. So
no, it was the hearse. That's
hearse.
That's what they can. Why is there a hearse in the driveway?
It's like, they're like, what is this party going to be so out of control? You got to get dead bodies out of here a little quieter or something. I don't know. So
it's a good party when the hearse shows up.
Exactly.
Hearse, haunted doll, it was all there.
We had everything there.
Luna, the dog was there. It was a party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you believe we've done an hour and a half show already?
Have we really?
Wow, that's
crazy. A good show.
Yeah.
Let's review the Paracons, the photos you sent me.
Yeah.
All right, so
go ahead and name me where they can get tickets, website, etc.
All right, so first off, let's just say again, www.hauntedhillviewmanor.com for the Saturday event with Johnny Zaffis. There's still a few tickets left. Let's just sell it out. Everybody watch. Just come and visit. Be with us. Could do the tripwire and watch, Mary and Anna dance like we talked about in Stacia's brought back to life story there. And Connecticut Paracon, www.ctparacon, 2 N's because it's Connecticut.org. See everything on there. Tickets. Of course, the New Orleans Paracon, www.neworleansparacon.com. Get your tickets, get your groupings, get your investigations. There's still a couple things left. I think there's still some discounted rooms left. You can't go to New Orleans on that price any time of the year.
No, you can't.
Take advantage of it and get to be with like-minded people. I'm starting to think, even if you don't like the paranormal, there's going to be other things there to have fun with and be able to enjoy the day. And
Chris did an amazing job.
Yeah, he's on to something there, and I know it's going to be successful. We're happy for him and Jennifer, and of course you, Len, for giving him the idea. But there's so much: Cleveland Paracon, the Underworld Culture Con, the Gettysburg Bash, the Salem Paracon, of course, the Witch Fest in Connecticut on August 8th and 9th.
The Hollow.
The Hollow in New Jersey.
Why don't you tell me a little bit more about Connecticut? Make sure you get all.
Well, yeah, the Connecticut Paracon is going to be big. It's the 6th year. We're having it at the Clarion Inn Hotel in North Haven, Connecticut. Right smack dab in almost like the middle of Connecticut, which is great. You're near New Haven, because if you are a foodie, of course, it's considered the best pizza in the country. So you'll be close enough for that. Near Hartford, there's so much history there. P.T. Barnum was born in Connecticut. There's so much history. Look into it. There's places that you could go. Connecticut's so small, you could visit pretty much everything in a weekend. The event is on one day. It's Saturday, July 11th. Later on in the evening, just down the street, First Jason, of course, led by Ari Lehman, the first ever Jason Voorhees. His band will be playing. James Stokes will be there. There's going to be tons of people there, ourselves, of course. The list goes on, but check out, CT Paracon, 2ns.org for the whole guest list. Been advertising. We got our spooky lady and all that. So we're ready for all that stuff. So
Tom, Stacia, would you guys, and Lynn, would you mind if I play the advertisement for it?
No, please do.
Yeah,
Please.
right ahead.
Yes.
Let's see all the guests.
Hang on one
Okay.
second. There was a question. Greg asked it.
Yeah.
If you want to flash it up real quick.
Okay. Are you busy tomorrow at 11? Stacia Thomas. Okay. I
Well,
think
I'm not doing anything tomorrow night, so if you contact me, I'm available. I don't know about y'all.
Well, we are actually at an investigation at the Haunted Knickerbocker.
Yeah.
We will be doing a
Cool.
live tomorrow. Yes.
Cool.
A friend of mine, Peggy, she owns it. I'm actually friends with her sister. That's how I met. So she only does private invites, and she invited us to go. Johnny Zaffis will be there. So yeah, it's
Mary Jo Chudley.
Mary Jo Chadley.
Of course, us, Johnny Zaffis. It's just us catching up. We're all friends, part of Wardruna, and just to sit back, relax, and just catch up, and then get to do an investigation. And just anybody that follows me or Mary Jo, we're both going to be live on Facebook from each of our phones. So make sure you join that tomorrow night. We don't know exactly when we're going on. We'll try and make an announcement when we kind of pull it together, done eating, done yapping about, everybody's grandkids and stuff like that, and catching up.
Hey,
And,
Tom,
that.
if you would
Yeah.
like to go live for a little bit on the network, let me know.
We'll have to take a look into that and see how the signal is there, and we'll discuss with the group and see how that'll all
That's
work
what I was going to say. I'll be glad to put it out there for you. Let me know a little bit ahead of time. That'd be cool.
Thank you.
Of course.
And while you're talking to John, maybe suggest I need to get a hold of him and see if he can come on the show and talk about what he's going to be doing down in New Orleans.
I will
Sometime
tell
in
him
July.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see if we could free him up and all that. I know this time of the year, just like us, we're balls to the wall, and it's going to be fun. But we'll have plenty of time to talk to you on your behalf, Len.
We will
All
do
right,
that.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Gwen. What you wanted to do?
Gonna play
Yeah.
the Connecticut
Do you want,
time ad.
I'm going to do the one that's like 59 seconds, the long one, if that's cool with you.
That's fine.
All right, here we go. This is for the Connecticut Paracon. Here you go.
All right.
Yes.
I love that ad.
That person on that advertising, I'm assuming that's AI.
That was done on Canva with some animation and all that. Melissa Sarfine with Chaotic Goods. She does a lot of our digital stuff for Charles and I with the Shaman and the Showman. So she does a great job, and that was by far really good one. And we're hoping that Shannon Collins, who models, and she's a great investigator, and she's one of our MCs. We're trying to get her to dress up just like that person because she's very closely looks like that if she really messes her hair and blacks her eyes. So we'll see if she does that for us. So that'll be kind of fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pop back in the back. I wanted to play that one because I know I haven't loaded.
You want to go ahead since we did the Connecticut? You want to go ahead and do the New Orleans one?
Yes.
I've got it loaded.
There you go.
Yep. Here we go.
This is a great package right here. RIP is sold out. It got sold out the first week it was offered. That's a package with Pilot Sebastian.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm currently talking to Ron about him being on the show in July.
Hey, who's that?
Who's those folks?
I don't know.
Who is she?
No.
Brandon Cooper is Jennifer's co-host on her podcast.
Is our buddy James.
Yep. They're going to be leaning, and next year's Paracon, they're going to be leaning a little bit more into the horror.
Yeah.
And there they are. Christopher and Jennifer. Blue Dog Pizza will be opening the Paracon. And we'll be doing a blessing before they open the doors. And I will be throwing it up live. They got me working early. Before it even starts, just a few minutes before they open the door to the room where the Paracon's going to be, I'm going to be right there beside them, and we're going to throw it up live and Voodoo Authentica is going to do a voodoo ceremony, opening ceremony.
Nice.
They're in the
Nice.
lobby before anybody's allowed in the room.
Wow, that's good. So
Nice.
So it's
creates
it's
the
gonna
energy,
be-
it creates the atmosphere. That's always good. So
right. Oh, by the way, another place I'd like to get y'all is the best fried chicken in the world. And this is authenticated. Somebody checked it out. They ate fried chicken all over the place. They said the best fried chicken in the world is in this little out of the way restaurant in New Orleans.
Oh, we're
nice.
going.
Yep.
I love the little out of the way spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We don't want the touristy. We want the just like I said, like I said, when I do Paracons, I want the people to have something to say. Bring them out of the shadows and let people see them and hear them speak. Same thing with my food. I don't want to go to the places everybody knows. I want the unknown places that are really good. So
Well, see, you may have more fun on Royal Street because the Bourbon Street is a touristy area.
Yeah.
And by the way, the hotel, everybody, you're staying at the host hotel, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't beat the price.
No, absolutely
No.
not.
Yeah.
They got a pool. I'll be at the pool a lot.
There you go.
But it's at the corner of Canal and Bourbon. You're
Nice.
right there.
Nice.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be good because well, we got to get a lot of good coffee because if we're hanging out with Zaffis and all that, you have to feed him coffee every like 5 minutes. Make sure his
really?
coffee stays filled. So
Yes.
John drinks coffee from when he gets up until before he goes to sleep. So got to make sure we have his coffee for him. So we'll be
I
good.
think they've got some good coffee in the restaurant there.
Good.
I know they serve breakfast. They're in the hotel. And I think there's a Starbucks down the street.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Well, as long as we're never ending coffee, I think we're going to be good.
There's also a very good ice cream shop right down the street.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
that'd be so-
okay.
okay.
Ice cream. That's all I needed to say.
That's
So,
it.
yeah.
So on that kind of week, oh, by the way, this is Gwen made this
Nice.
Nice.
using AI. And that's why all I did was copy it as a photo, took it to a local t-shirt person, and they did this.
Yeah,
Put it on a shirt for us.
that's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So to us,
I
it's,
gotta,
you know,
I gotta get
get down there,
the
bud.
avocado shirts.
so we're both looking forward to it. Gail had never been in New Orleans until we
Really?
moved down here to Arkansas,
Yeah.
and the house wasn't ready, and we were staying in a hotel. So I said, "There's got to be a place where we can stay at a hotel and be useful."
Yeah.
So I started looking, and I said, "Why not New Orleans? 6 hours away."
Yeah.
So I found a place we could stay that was a tad cheaper than what we were staying in. So she fell in love with the city. And speaking of Gail,
She's showing us
Patient
the patient one.
wife. Love it.
I give you a lot of credit, Gail. I give you a lot of
Yeah.
credit putting up with that guy.
Somebody's got it.
Yeah.
this fall we will be married 25 years.
Wow. Good.
Congratulations.
That's a good number of years right there.
Yes, and we got married November 10th, 2 months almost to the day of 9/11, after 9/11.
Wow. Yep.
Her maid of honor had to fly in from California, and my best man had to fly in from Texas. And this was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was back when you were up. Yeah, I remember because you had a lot of that history from Chicago we've talked about
Mhm.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, I did all kinds of paranormal stuff up in Chicago. Bought the car from the mob.
Yeah.
After the FBI got through, and there was only 3 mobs left in business. And one of them had a great big cover all in the building,
Yeah.
used car lot, where they sold higher end cars. And that's who we bought our Magnum from.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited we're going to be able to see you, Len, and all that. And I love talking to you, and we're gonna be
I
we're
love
gonna be
talking
getting
to
up
you.
early.
Yeah,
And,
it
hitting
was
the
an
road.
honor for me
It's an
to have
honor.
y'all on the show.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you for letting us give us your platform, and hopefully, your viewers had fun listening to our crazy stories.
Well,
And yeah,
if I built the stage, it's no better than the people who are on there and stating their stories, what they're all about, and that's what I built the stage for.
perfect. We appreciate
We
you for that.
appreciate it very much so. We
Looking
thank
forward to seeing you, my brother. We're gonna
Uh,
see you very soon. And
I'm going to love every minute of being with y'all. So
Yeah.
I really
All
appreciate
right.
y'all.
Thanks, Len.
Thank you,
Thank
dear.
you very
Good
much.
night.
Have a good night, honey. Bye, everybody.
Good night. Okay, that's going to be the end of our show tonight. Do I have anybody next week? Yes, I do. I can't have. I have no light. Gina Lynette will be on next week. She is an author, and she will also be at the New Orleans Paracon. Good night, Greg. Yeah, take care of yourself, Greg. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. We'll see about. I have nothing going on tomorrow night. I've got a meeting with the mayor of Star City tomorrow. He's a lawyer. It's a lawyer business. I'm not going to jail. No, it's about personal matters. But I'm going to have a sit down with Star City Mayor in the morning. So tomorrow, I'm going to be kind of taking it easy. Tomorrow night, yeah, I'll see you then. I'll probably be working on my deck a little bit before it gets really hot. Tomorrow before that, but I can always take a shower real quick and be ready to go. Gwen, I appreciate you doing all the work. I could not do this show without you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
You are one of the Mining Gale's favorite people on the planet.
Oh, thank you. Now, I do have to say, because certain times I go and do, like tonight, I did a podcast to promote one of the Paracons that I'm going to in Alabama. So I appreciate Sean Ellis. He's always my right-hand man, let's say. He'll back me up. So awesome. And I know he's not watching. He's probably asleep, but he always helps me out when he can. So I got a big thanks out to him. Always. But I get to see you guys very soon, and I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
We're even buying those little fans that you clip on. They're about this. Well, that's still bad arm. This big, and they clip on. So it puts it'll blow my hair out. But it's gonna.
Did you see the back of Gale's shirt?
I did. I was laughing. I said, "Ha ha." So you and I are going to be on Greg's show tomorrow night at 9 Central. So we'll get to see each other then too. And you guys, whoever's watching or goes back and watch whatever, Lynn and I will both be at the New Orleans Paracon, as well as, oh my goodness, Tom and Stacia, Lee Triana, Matt, her husband, who you don't get to see enough on here yet. Blaine Rohan, Lord of Mercy, Patty Negri, John Zaffis, Bill Slevin. I can't remember all the locals, but all the local people down there that I honestly have not.
Voodoo Authentica.
Yes, Voodoo Authentica. Father Sebastian. You'll get to see Chris and Jennifer. And just, you know what? Go look at the poster, because my memory is not that good.
Or run this show back a little bit.
There you go.
We ran the video that showed all the guests. You can run it back in slow-mo if you want.
I have a poster of it. I'm gonna do that while we're getting out of here. But hold on, I got it. Doggone it. There's one.
There it is.
And there's another one, which is kind of loud and out there, but that's about one of the investigations. But you guys, if you're not coming to New Orleans, well, all I can say is, why are you not coming to New Orleans? They still have packages. Go buy them. Come join us. We're gonna have fun.
There are still a few rooms available.
Yep.
So
Lynn's gonna buy me a purple drink.
It's incredible deal on the hotel.
It is.
Incredible rate.
Yep.
Now, talking about the purple drink. You heard the latest announcement.
No, I
New
haven't. You know,
Orleans, the New Orleans Ghostbusters are going to be doing a charitable event at the blacksmith shop, John Lafitte's blacksmith shop,
okay.
which is the creator and the patent holder of the purple drink.
Oh, cool. Well, funny enough, the show that I was on tonight, the Alabama Ghostbusters, it was a group that is associated. They have a big association that's nationwide. I forget what it's called, the Green Stream or something like that. Don't mark my word. That might not be right, but they're associated with them. So shoot, I get to go to New Orleans and see the ghost, and then I get to go to Alabama and experience it. So that's cool. That's cool.
So that's going to be fun in itself.
Oh, and you know what? When I go to Alabama, I'm going to be dressing up, and we not voted, but we put out, and I'm going to be dressed as Xena.
Cool.
So for the cosplay, I got to get that together. And don't we now? My memory is getting worse by the day, Lynn. I tell you, in New Orleans, aren't we going to some kind of something that we're supposed to dress up as something? Don't we? Aren't we?
I'm not sure.
And there's some, you guys don't shoot me. Go to New Orleans website, look it up. I believe there's something that we're maybe it's Gettysburg. You guys, I am getting all this mess confused. I'll be real with you. I'll be
We've
real
got a
with
lot of stuff, a lot in a row.
I do. And you know what? I'll be real with you. Everybody pretty much that watches this knows that I had shoulder surgery. It turned out great. My doctor's happy with it, but it's still very tender. I've got to start physical therapy tomorrow, which is going to be adventurous for me. But I can't sleep really good and rest really good. I'm having to sleep basically sitting up. So right now, I'm not 100% yet, and I'm getting there. And it's going to be better. By next month, hopefully it'll be better. But yeah, so my brain is just like, I can't remember details sometimes. I'll be real. It's because I'm not getting enough rest, but that's okay. It's going to get better. But yeah, you guys, seriously, if you're not coming to New Orleans, buy your tickets. Mm-hmm. Or if you absolutely can't come to New Orleans, Lynn's going to be live. I'm going to be live. Lee's going to be live. The network's going to be live a lot. Okay. So
during the Paracon, right outside the main room, I will be doing Echo Vox sessions live. If you ever want to see how to use that device and what results I can get in that hotel.
Oh, not just the hotel, but think about the people, right, that you're walking by talking to. I mean, they're walking by talking to you. Think about what that's going to bring. Mm-hmm. Just my spirit guides. I mean, just yours, just everybody. I mean, it's going to be very interesting, guys. So seriously, while we're down there, we're going to be going live a lot. It's not just going to be us two. It'll be we'll bring other people. We're going to have, of course, Chris and Jennifer and whoever is at the Paracon that wants to pop on for a couple minutes and like be interviewed or just chit chat. Or it's going to be a great time, guys. So if you can't come, tune in. If you can come on, because the hotel, I don't have a picture of the hotel, but it's huge. It's absolutely huge. I was looking at.
You've actually got the main building, and then across the street you have the annex.
Oh, okay. So I did not realize that part.
Two big buildings.
Okay. I didn't really. Now and because I do not know exactly the like room or whatever rooms that we're going to be in for the vendors and the guests and stuff like that. Is that going to be like in the main? Is that the main part? Or I think
it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Have you seen the rooms, the interior rooms? Incredibly beautiful.
Yeah, they are. They really are. You know what it reminds me of? And I don't know the name of it, but it's a building in LA that was probably honestly built about the same time. It reminds me of this place, and it's iconic, and I can't remember the name of it. But you guys go look on the website and look the hotel up too, or whatever. And I've looked at the rooms for the, just to see how the insides were, and they're gorgeous. It looks roomy. It looks like you're not crammed up in something like some of the hotels are. And it's going to be a great event, guys. Seriously, if you can't make it, I'm sorry. If you can, come on.
If can't make it this year, make it next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you know what? This year we're going to learn from whatever boo-boos happen, because boo-boos happen no matter how many times you put one on. Hopefully we're going to have decent weather. And when I say that, you realize we'll be in New Orleans, so it's going to be hot. But you know,
you also realize that you are going to be, when you're standing on the street, you will be several inches under sea level.
Yes, you will. So be aware.
Yeah. And please, one more time, I'll say this. Gwen knows where I'm going. Gwen.
No open-toed shoes.
No open-toed shoes.
No, don't do it. For
I
more
sound
than
like
one reason.
Swingooley when he says no personal checks. I feel like every time I need to talk, I need to say no open shoes.
Yeah, for real, guys.
You do not want to step in this gravy.
No, you don't. Now, if you're walking in the hotel, I get it, because you know where I like flip-flops. But if you're going outside, put you some shoes on. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Hear me a pair in my back.
Put on a good set of hiking shoes, because all the ghost hunting, the Andrew Jackson, the blacksmith shop bar, all the other places, the voodoo shop is in walking distance.
Cool.
Not that far, but if you've got a problem like Gail has, she's on a walker. She might not be able to walk that far. There are college kids. They got the trikes. They put you on there. You can always catch a cab or Uber real quick.
Yep.
I mean, folks, this is a 4-star hotel. 4 stars.
Nice.
We're not in the Holiday Inn here, or Days Inn, or Motel 6. We're in the 4-star.
It's gonna be
pool.
Great.
It's got some great rooms. You just need to be there. That's all I can say. You need to be there. And the rate that Chris negotiated is amazing. You can't stay anywhere in New Orleans for the price he negotiated.
New Orleans is expensive, but you know, and besides the event, while you're down there, there's going to be time you can go do your own little thing for a while. I mean, we have events and stuff, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to enjoy the city also. You know, we do our stuff, but we're going to enjoy it a little bit too. So, well, you guys have spent almost 2 hours
and do a river cruise like we're going to do.
Yep. Oh, that would be actually cool, but I'm not sure what our plan is.
They go in different places.
Mm-hmm.
You go of course, we're going to be ghost hunting at night, but the Natchez also has a long river cruise where they serve an excellent dinner, prime rib.
Nice. We might have to check that out.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the plan.
I mean, it's hard to do everything in a couple of days. New Orleans has got so much to do. You heard me talking to Thomas about the battlefield.
Yep.
There is so much there because the history goes back to the first whites walked around this region in about 1602.
Jeez. Yeah.
And
so it's
some
got
of the
so much
history there.
Yeah.
They needed women because they had almost all guys there to start with. So they needed women, so they conned a bunch of women into coming and said, this is great, this is paradise, you're going to make it rich. And you got all your single men, you can get married, and the guy is already working on becoming rich. Painted this big, lovely picture. They brought him to New Orleans, basically threw him off the boat, and the boat left. The women were literally on their knees crying because at the time they were being dropped off at what looked like the edge of a swamp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it was so much trauma, so much death. It was nonsense that a paranormal Paracon has not been there before.
That's true. That's true.
This is the perfect place for a Paracon.
It actually is. And you know what, guys? Anywhere you go in that city, think about just what has happened since like our lifetimes. I mean, you know, the hurricane, that was terrible. But they have not just one, but you know, that the Katrina was terrible. And you know, I don't even know how to say that it was already haunted, but now just think of that extra energy. Like, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be fun.
You mentioned Katrina.
Yeah.
Everybody has seen the photos and videos of Jackson Square in
Yep.
the Catholic Church there. The Catholic Church is open for tours. They do allow photos inside.
Oh, really? No, I see.
Yes.
I didn't realize it. Okay.
So you can go in that Catholic church during the day and in the evening and take a few photos. It is stunning
But
inside.
be respectful, people. Even if it's not
Be
your
respectful.
religion, be respectful.
You are in a working church. And right next to it is the Katrina Museum.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, you can go in there and see just how bad Katrina was.
It was really bad. I actually helped some in the outskirts, and it was bad, you guys. If you don't remember, go back and look at pictures. It'll break your heart. But we're going to be down there. It's going to be all that energy from everything, plus all of us spooky people. That's going to help. And we're all going to be together, and we're going to have fun. And like I said, if you can't come, if you can, come on. I'm sure they still have tickets and stuff. If you can't, watch us, because we're going to be live. Like I said, Lynn's going to be live, but not just Lynn. So many people there are going to be live.
Yes.
Plus we're going to interview everybody we can. Plus, I do my little during the breaks, I'll be doing some lives. Lee Triana will be doing some lives. We'll grab Matt and snatch him into some, and Blaine too. And, we're going to pull everybody in. Trying to think who else from the network is going to be there. Oh, Rez. Rez is going to be there.
Rez is going to be there.
That's right. Sorry, Rez. He's going to be there. He's got a couple people that are coming with him. I don't know if I'm not going to call their names because I don't know. We got some friends from a paranormal group in Illinois that's coming. Spire Paranormal. They're pretty cool. I think they may have been on this show before. I can't remember. We do so many shows and stuff, but so they're coming down too. I wish Greg Koss could come. I think he would be absolutely cool to be around.
Yeah.
I got to see him in Wisconsin, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that. It's a big drive. But we got people coming from all over.
You're driving the width of the nation.
Yeah. Well,
Wisconsin's about as high as you can go up north. In New Orleans, the only place you can go further south is South Texas, down to Brownsville or Miami.
Well, you remember last year I went on my paranormal walkabout, and I went from Wisconsin to South Carolina and back. And it took 3.5 months for us to camp and investigate and stay at these places, and that was a big trip. But New Orleans is even a little further, and we were actually going to go there last year, and we got kind of detoured. But yeah, you guys, we got some folks from the network coming, so we're definitely represented. We got Tom. Tom's from the network too. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but we got folks coming. There's people coming from all over. If you're into like vampire type, or they call themselves night kind, Father Sebastian's going to be there, and I know some of his I don't want to say followers, but some of the folks in his groups and stuff. I'm sure some will be down there, and that's very interesting to me. So I'd love to just hear about that, because it's not what everybody thinks. It's not like pop culture. It's not. It's different, and it's interesting to me. So I'll be looking forward to that. You got Ron Iacovetti and Lourdes Gonzalez. Love them. They are two of the sweetest people. And his equipment. No, that's not right words. His what does he call it? But anyway, the thing he does with his programs and that kind of stuff is amazing. I got to spend like almost a week with them last year at the Worldgate experiment. It's amazing. If you've never experienced it.
I'm talking to him now. He sent me a heart today, so I'm looking forward to talking about when they can appear.
Well, just tell me on the network. Yeah, tell me on the network.
If he agrees in July on Thursday, we will have him on the show and talking about what he uses to investigate. And by the way, talking about investigations, there are ghost hunts available. You want to see Lexiana do her thing in a haunted location? John Zappis will be there.
Yeah, let's see. Let me pull that back up. Yeah, you guys, seriously, if you're New Orleans, and it's not going to do it's not. Yep, there's one of them. Is that the Voodoo House?
The Voodoo House.
Yeah, I do not have my glasses on, Lynn, but I know they have several other investigations. Go look on their website, because I can't quote everything. They got so much going on. We're going to have the opening ceremony. I hope they'll be okay with us airing that. We're going to be respectful. So if they say no, then that's okay. But we're going to ask respectfully to make sure it's good with not just Chris and those, but the people that are actually doing it. Cause some things are, how it is. So we're going to try to broadcast that if they'll let us. Hopefully we can go live at some of the investigations. I know we can't the whole time. But hopefully we get to go live a lot at the different things. And I know we will be seeing everybody, and we'll take you around the, I want to call it the floor, but I'm not sure how they're set up. So it may be more than one room. The hotel, we'll definitely have to show you some of the rooms, stuff like that. But, I've got other stuff going on too, but this is it's a big deal for us because it had never been done before. And, Chris and Jennifer and so many people are putting so much effort into it. It's going to be great.
I don't know where you're going to be Monday afternoon, but Monday afternoon, what I want to do is before Gail and I get into our hotel room, get the bags all put out and all our stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging our underwear from the ceiling and whatever. I want to show the room.
Yeah, I want to do the same to mine. Because every room's they're not like every hotel carbon copy.
Not even close.
And I'm gonna be posting pictures of mine and stuff like that. But yes, that would be cool. I don't know what we're doing. I have the shows, but we could always go live for a few minutes and you show us around or something like that.
Lesrianne and I had a long conversation the other day. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did, but we'll talk about that in the back.
I told her basically what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Is going every show on Monday and the shows on Tuesday and do a 3 to 5 minute commercial. That's it.
Well, we'll
show something around the hotel, talk about the event, that I'm here. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. And just a quick ad during their show. And that's it. Boom. That's it.
Well, I'll talk to we'll definitely, we have Family Spirit on Monday and we have Cryptid Nation on Tuesday. That's Lee and myself and Blaine. Definitely, if Lee and them say it's okay, I mean, we vote together as long as it's fine with me because we're going to be coming. But I tell you what, guys, it's been 2 hours. I'm hungry. I have not eaten. So we're going to get off of here. So I'm gonna pull back in the back. I'm gonna let Lynn close it out and
the fangs need eating.
They need eating. All right. Well, I'm gonna pop in the back, but Lynn, you close this out, okay?
All right, go ahead and close the door on this show. See you next week. We'll be live next Thursday. Good night, everybody. For now.